So my very first vehicle I was 16, maybe 17. I had just gotten my graduated license, and it was an 84 full-size Blazer, and that was a cool truck to have. Damn it. I hate this when that crap happens. Anyway, that was a really cool truck to have. We got it real cheap. I mean, I think I paid $1,000 for it, and surprisingly, it only had a little over 90,000 miles on it. I got it in '99, and so, you know, it's pretty low miles for, you know, being 15 years old, with all things considered. It had an upgraded suspension. It had some Mickey Thompsons. It was a nice truck. I mean, I really enjoyed it. It had a 3-speed with 305, and I had a lot of fun with that truck. It had glass packs on it, and I can remember I worked so early in the morning starting that thing up. Plus, you know, when I was going to school or still in high school, there was a guy that parked next to me. He had a Camaro. It was a newer Camaro, and he had an alarm system on it. He always parked in the same spot, so did I. So at lunchtime, I'd go out and listen to the radio, and I'd always start it up, and of course, there would, you know, go his alarm every time. I mean, it was a loud truck, but it was a fun truck. I didn't really do much off-roading with it. I really wanted to, but it was old enough where I didn't really feel like breaking anything. I didn't have the money at the time to repair anything that would go wrong. So anyway, it was a pretty nice truck. You know, the body wasn't in the best shape, obviously, for as old as it was. Seeing 15 Michigan winters, and the rear tailgate, actually, the hinges were rusting through. And when I first got the truck, the rear tailgate was leaning downward to the right a little bit, and you know, after a year of driving it around, it finally gave way. And my dad and I tried all sorts of different fixes for it. Get some screws, nail some screws, or drill some screws in the into the tailgate to keep it up. Things like that. I mean, it was a mess. Every time I hit a bump, the whole tailgate would come down, and eventually, I remember I was just pulling in home, and the rear glass finally shattered. It just broke all over the place, and that was this. I remember this was right before wintertime. And going through the entire winter without a rear window was really tough. I remember getting out into my truck, you know, 10 minutes earlier to make sure that it was really warmed up so I could heat. And of course, the exhaust, as rich as it burned when you got on it, you know, you could smell the exhaust. I mean, No, for what it was a great truck. I never ever had any mechanical problems with it, ever. That was what was nice about it, is it was so reliable. I had an aftermarket Edelbrock 850, I believe, on it. It didn't have a lot of power, of course, and I never, hardly ever, if I could avoid it, take it on the highway, just because cruising on the highway at 70, the RPMs are, near 3,000. So, I never took it on the highway. But, all in all, it was a really good truck. I really enjoyed driving it. It was big, it was loud, and it was fun to drive. But eventually I just got tired of the winters with it, and I finally sold it to get a newer truck. That's exactly what I did. So that's pretty much it on my first truck, first vehicle.